Do you ever feel overwhelmed, like you're drowning in a sea of to-dos? You're not alone. Many of us live in a constant state of yes. We say yes to every request, every invitation, every opportunity. We fear missing out. We worry about disappointing others. We tell ourselves we can handle it all. But the truth is we can't. Our lives become a blur of activity, but we lack focus and direction. We're busy, but are we truly productive? Are we happy? This constant state of yes leads to burnout, resentment, and a lack of fulfillment. It's time to reclaim our time and our lives. It's time to discover the power of saying no. Why is saying no so difficult? It's a question many of us grapple with daily. Whether it's declining a social invitation, turning down extra work, or simply setting boundaries, the act of saying no can feel like an insurmountable challenge. Societal pressures play a significant role. From a young age, we're taught to be accommodating and to fit in with the expectations of those around us. This conditioning makes it hard to assert our own needs and desires. We're conditioned to be helpful, agreeable, and always available. This ingrained behavior is reinforced by the positive feedback we receive when we say yes. It feels good to be needed and appreciated, but it can also lead to overcommitment and burnout. Saying yes is often seen as polite, while saying no can be misconstrued as rude or selfish. This fear of being judged negatively can make us reluctant to refuse requests, even when we know it's the right thing to do for our own well-being. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, also holds us hostage. Social media exacerbates this fear by constantly showing us the highlights of other people's lives. We see friends and acquaintances attending events, achieving milestones, and living seemingly perfect lives. We see others constantly doing, achieving, and experiencing new things. This creates a sense of urgency and pressure to keep up, making it even harder to say no to new opportunities, even when we're already stretched thin. We worry that saying no will mean missing out on something amazing. Then there's guilt. The guilt of letting others down, of not being there when someone needs us, or of not living up to our own high standards. We hate to disappoint others, especially those we care about. This emotional burden can make it incredibly difficult to prioritize our own needs over the expectations of others. We feel obligated to say yes, even when it comes at the expense of our own well-being. The constant juggling of tasks and responsibilities can lead to physical and emotional exhaustion, yet we continue to push ourselves to meet the demands placed upon us. Finally, many of us lack clear priorities. Without a clear understanding of what truly matters to us, it's easy to get swept away by the demands of others. We end up saying yes to everything because we haven't defined what we should be saying no to. Without a clear understanding of what truly matters, it's easy to get swept away by the demands of others. We end up saying yes to everything because we haven't defined what we should be saying no to. Taking the time to reflect on our values and priorities can help us make more intentional choices. We say yes to everything because we haven't defined what we should be saying no to. By setting clear boundaries and learning to prioritize our own needs, we can start to reclaim our time and energy and ultimately lead more fulfilling lives. Saying no is not selfish, it's self-preservation. In a world that constantly demands our attention and energy, learning to say no is a powerful act of self-care. It allows us to protect our time and mental well-being, ensuring that we don't spread ourselves too thin. It's about setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing what truly matters. When you say no to things that don't align with your values or goals, you make room for the things that do. This isn't just about time management, it's about life management. When you learn to say no to the non-essential, you create space for the essential. Saying no enhances focus. Imagine a workspace free of clutter, where every item has a purpose. This is what your life can look like when you start saying no to unnecessary commitments. By eliminating distractions and commitments that don't align with your goals, you can channel your energy towards what truly matters. This focused energy allows you to dive deeper into your projects and passions, leading to higher quality work and personal satisfaction. This leads to greater productivity and a sense of accomplishment. Saying no reduces stress. When you are not constantly juggling too many tasks, you can give your full attention to the ones that matter, reducing the mental load and stress. When you're constantly overcommitted, stress becomes a constant companion. The pressure to meet everyone's expectations can be overwhelming, leading to burnout and exhaustion. Saying no allows you to lighten your load and create a sense of calm in your life. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing you have the time and space to breathe, to relax, and to enjoy the moment. Saying no strengthens relationships. It might seem counterintuitive, but saying no can actually improve your relationships. When you are clear about your boundaries, you communicate your needs more effectively. When you're honest about your limits, you build trust and respect. People appreciate honesty and are more likely to respect your time and boundaries when you are upfront about them. You also create space for more meaningful interactions. By saying no to the superficial, you make room for deeper connections and more fulfilling relationships. In the end, saying no is not just about turning things down, it's about saying yes to a more focused, free, and connected life. Saying no doesn't have to be confrontational. Here are some practical tips for saying no politely and effectively. 1. Keep it simple. A simple no thank you is often sufficient. You don't need to over-explain or apologize. 2. Be direct. Avoid beating around the bush. State your no clearly and respectfully. 3. Offer alternatives. If possible, suggest an alternative solution. For example, if someone asks you to volunteer for an event, you could say, "I'm unable to volunteer that day, but I'd be happy to help promote it on social media." And 4. Practice makes perfect. Saying no gets easier with practice. Start with small, low-stakes situations and gradually work your way up to more challenging ones. Section 5. Setting boundaries, not building walls, how no strengthens relationships. Saying no is not about shutting people out, it's about setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. They define where you end and another person begins. When you say no to protect your time, energy, and values, you're communicating your needs and limits. This fosters respect and understanding in your relationships. Saying no also prevents resentment from building up. When you constantly say yes to things you don't want to do, you may start to resent the person who asked. Remember, saying no to a request is not rejecting the person. It's simply declining a specific commitment. Section 6. The joy of missed opportunities. Embracing the freedom to choose. The fear of missing out can be paralyzing. It's that nagging feeling that if you don't say yes to every opportunity, you might miss something crucial, something life-changing. This fear can lead to a life filled with stress and anxiety, constantly trying to be everywhere and do everything. We often find ourselves saying yes to things we don't really want to do, simply because we're afraid of what we might miss. We attend events out of obligation, scroll through social media with a sense of dread, and fill our schedules to the brim, leaving little room for what truly matters. But here's the truth. You will always miss out on something. Time is finite, and it's impossible to do everything. The clock keeps ticking and the days keep passing. Accepting this reality can be liberating. The key is to be intentional about what you choose to miss. By prioritizing your time and energy, you can focus on what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. Make a to-do list that reflects your values and goals and highlight the tasks that align with your vision for your life. When you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. You're making a conscious decision to invest your time in activities and relationships that matter to you. This can be incredibly empowering. You're saying yes to your priorities, your values, and your own well-being. Whether it's spending quality time with family, practicing self-care, or pursuing a passion project, these choices reflect what you truly value. Embrace the freedom that comes with saying no. It's not about shutting doors, but about opening the right ones. It's about feeling a sense of relief and satisfaction, knowing that you're living in alignment with your true self. It's the freedom to choose how you spend your time and energy. Imagine the joy of a leisurely walk in nature, or the peace of reading a book in a cozy corner. These moments are precious and worth cherishing. It's the freedom to design a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. By being selective about your commitments, you create space for growth, achievement, and true happiness. Embrace this freedom and let it guide you towards a more fulfilling life. Section 7. From overwhelmed to empowered. How saying no fuels productivity. Saying no is not just about freeing up your time, it's about maximizing your impact. When you eliminate distractions and prioritize what matters most, you become more productive and efficient. Focus is the key to productivity. By saying no to the non-essential, you can direct your energy towards your most important tasks. This leads to better results and a greater sense of accomplishment. Saying no allows you to work smarter, not harder. It's about making conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy. It's about investing in activities that will yield the greatest return on your investment. Section 8. Your time, your choice, reclaiming control, and designing your life. Your time is your most valuable asset. It's a finite resource that should be guarded carefully. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for a life of busyness and overwhelm. When you say no to the non-essential, you create space for what truly matters. You create space for your passions, your relationships, and your own personal growth. Saying no is not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life and designing a life that brings you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. Section 9. Embrace the power of no. A call to action. Saying no is a skill that takes practice and courage. It's about challenging societal norms and overcoming the fear of judgment. But the rewards are immeasurable. Start small. Identify one thing you can say no to today. It could be an extra commitment, a request for your time, or even just a negative thought. Remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying yes to yourself and your dreams. Embrace the power of no and unlock a life of greater focus, freedom, and fulfillment.